So the brand new HyperX Cloud Stinger Wireless gaming headset just released a little bit over a week ago, and since it's priced at $100, which is the exact same price that my current favorite Corsair HS70 is released at, today I thought it would be a good idea to compare these headsets head to head. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome to zachstechturf. Today we're going to be stacking up the brand new HyperX Cloud Stinger Wireless gaming headset with the Corsair HS70, and today I have 17 categories to compare them with. And if you're new here and you want to see more PC hardware, PC building videos, then hit that subscribe button down below and also that notification bell. That way you never miss an episode. But yeah, let's start comparing these two. So just as a quick disclaimer, the reason why I'm comparing these two specifically is for two main reasons. First, both of these headsets launched at right around $100 here in the US, but I do want to point out that the HS70s are now on sale for $70, which is a whole new price bracket in my opinion. Given that we don't know how long this sale will last or if it's the new permanent price, I'm going to be comparing these two today as if they cost the same amount of money. And the second reason is because I actually released a dedicated review of the Corsair HS70 whenever it first launched, and we kind of have a running joke in the Discord channel because like everyone went out and bought the HS70s right after I released that video, so we kind of have like an HS70 club in the Discord right now. With the disclaimers out of the way, starting with the more physical categories, the first one up is simply the weight, and I'm gonna give the first point to the Stinger Wireless because it's weighing much less at 260 grams versus 348 with the HS70. Next up we have comfort, and for this one it's definitely gonna come down to personal preference, as are a lot of these categories FYI, but for this one I'm gonna give the point to the Stinger Wireless. Both of these are certainly comfortable, but I like the Stinger Wireless a bit more because it's definitely more lightweight and it's not as tight around my ears. Next up we have a very specific ear cup category, and for this one I also gave a point to the Stinger Wireless because I just wanted to point out that the Stinger ear cups rotate, which is nice for when you're taking a break or for traveling, and the HS70s do not swivel at all. On the bottom of these ear cups we get to our fourth category, the volume dial. In this one I definitely had to give to the Stinger once again because it's a much bigger dial so it's easier to find, and I really like how the dial on the Stinger controls the operating system volume while the HS70 only controls the volume of the actual headset. This may not seem like a big deal, but for me, I think it's a huge deal because with the HS70s, you have to adjust both the volume dial on the headset and the volume of your operating system, and the HyperX Stinger Wireless completely avoids this by controlling both. After that, we get into the build quality, and with a very early 4-0 lead, I'm gonna give the first point to the Corsair HS70 because the Stinger is made only with plastic, while the HS70 at least has metal ear cup forks, which definitely feel more durable. The next category up is aesthetics, and for this one, it's definitely gonna be different for everybody, but in my opinion, I'm gonna pick the Corsair HS70s because once you remove the microphone, in my opinion, this just looks like a nice clean headset and not like gaming headphones or anything, and the Stingers just look a little bit too gamey in my opinion. As far as the charging method goes, both of these charge with an included micro USB cable, so I'll give a point to both of them. I also didn't note any crazy differences in the charging speeds, but to be honest, I didn't give it a proper benchmark. Another category that I probably should have given more time to is battery life, and I'm gonna give the Stinger Wireless a point here, but only because it's rated at 17 hours while the HS70 is rated at 16 hours. Now these numbers could definitely be fake news, but I didn't feel the need to spend 30 plus hours trying to benchmark it. In my opinion, neither of these got too annoying when having to charge them, and that's all that really matters in my opinion. For the USB dongles, both of these headsets are using relatively the same size of USB dongles, so I gave them both a point here. No worthwhile differences between them in my opinion. For distance, this one I actually did properly benchmark, and both of these got literally the exact same distance away from the USB receiver in my house, probably because they're rocking the same exact Bluetooth technology, so I'm gonna give them both a point for this one as well. Next up, I created an audio feedback category, which may not sound obvious, but I really like that the Corsair HS70 has a woman saying powering on, mic off, and I didn't like that the Stinger just gave you some beeps, which were honestly not easy to determine if you were turning the headset on or off. For microphone muting, one of my favorite features about the HS70 is that you can completely remove the microphone so that way you know you're muted. There's also a mute button, which is pretty nice, and for the Stinger Wireless, the microphone gets muted whenever you slide the microphone all the way up to the top, which is pretty nice, but in my opinion, I just like the methods of the HS70 a little bit more. As far as microphone quality goes, this one you're probably going to have to determine for yourself because in my opinion, I thought they sounded pretty close. This is what the HyperX Cloud Stinger Wireless is sounding like, and then this is what the Corsair HS70 sounds like. In my opinion, it sounds pretty close, but I'm going to give it to the HS70 for the pure reason that you can increase the side tone in the IQ software
software, this allows you to monitor what you're sounding like, and thus that produces better quality audio because I can monitor myself, hear how far I should keep the microphone away from my face, and determine how loud I should be talking.
Getting into the surround sound when gaming, Call of Duty is one of my favorite games to test for this category because there's explosions and gunshot sounds going on all over the place, and for this one both headsets performed very well and I couldn't distinguish which one I like better, so I'm giving a point to both of them. Next up we have the sound customization, and the Corsair HS70 is definitely the clear-cut winner here for the simple reason of the IQ software allows you to adjust your equalization settings, which obviously makes a big difference, and the Stinger Wireless doesn't have any software at all. For our 16th category we have the maximum volume, and this one is definitely a clear-cut winner as well, but this time with the HyperX Cloud Stinger Wireless. Everyone knows that at like 80% the HS70s start to get a little hissing sound, and that doesn't happen at all with the HyperX headset, and the volume itself honestly gets way louder and on a complete new level compared to the HS70. Alright, so we're at the 17th and final category and we're tied up at 10 points each, and I just wanted to let you guys know that when I was writing the script, I did not plan for this at all to come down to the wire like this, so this is actually pretty crazy, but this category is definitely the most important: sound quality. This one was definitely a tough one to judge. At the default equalization setting, the Corsair HS70s actually sound pretty awful, but once you adjust it to whatever type of music or sound you're listening to, it's much better. I can't believe I'm defaulting the winner of this competition down to this last comparison because this one is also yet another personal preference, but in my opinion, I'm gonna have to give it to the Stinger Wireless because in my opinion, I think that the audio sounded just a little bit more clean and crisp than the HS70s, but this one was seriously really close. All in all, I hope this extremely slight score difference simply proves that both of these headsets are great and you definitely cannot go wrong with either of them. For me personally, I see advantages to both of them, so I'm actually going to be continuing to use both of them and just assign them to each of my setups down here in my studio. Today, the score winner is the Stinger Wireless, but with so many personal preference categories, the HS70s might be better for you as well. Well, that wraps up my comparison of both the HyperX Cloud Stinger Wireless and the Corsair HS70 gaming headsets. As always, drop a comment down below about what you're thinking about either of these headsets or if you're thinking about picking one of them up. After that, feel free to head on over to one of these two videos if you haven't seen them yet, and definitely hit that subscribe button because coming up next, yet another budget gaming PC build guide. You don't want to miss that video.